Equity is what's going to really enable you to create wealth. So focus on that, and that's where you'll find long-term success. The next one, again, is very crucial and important. Every financial choice that you make, way too many people get into debt, whether they don't live within their own means, or they start doing deals which don't add up because they haven't done a proper appraisal. They don't understand how to do a proper appraisal. But get your numbers right, keep an eye on your debt, and make sure you can always afford it and manage it. That's extremely important. The next one, which is a lifelong issue and challenge for all of us, and it's an evergreen topic, people can never stop talking about it, which is time management or self-management. And this is quite odd really, because when I was working on individual property projects, I was busier than I am now, and now I'm working on from anywhere between 3 to 5 property projects at any one time. So we've just finished Boston, I'm doing New England, we've just finished St. Paul. So I'm sorry I'm throwing these names at you, but it's easy for me to describe the project that way. We've then got Bicker in Boston, which is for 40 houses, and we just applied for planning on that. And then after I've already talked to you about the Section 79 property which I'm going to build. So I've got 3 or 4 projects at any one time. I am not as busy just with those now as I used to be when I'm working on when I was working on one project, and that kind of sounds odd and doesn't sound right, but I guess it's that Parkinson's law where we fill the time with things we want to do. Christina says, can I ask a general property tax question? You may, Christina, and I'll try my best to answer that for you. So leverage your time and make the most of it and do the best that you can. Focus on creating, so when you're trying to create wealth, focus on creating equity and not just income. Of course, in property it's very important to create income and to create cash flow, but also focus on equity. Equity is what's going to really enable you to create wealth. So focus on that, and that's where you'll find long-term success. The next one, again, is very crucial and important. Every financial choice that you make is going to have a consequence on you, positive or negative, today and for the future. So you've got to make sure you think through things very, very carefully. Look at the upside, as Rob Moore talks about. Look at the downside. But also when you look at the upside and the downside, fully consider the downside and think about the fact that if things don't work out, can you live with the downside? And if the answer is no, you can't live with the downside, or it's going to be too much, don't do it. But remember that there's the cause and effect thing that takes place. So everything that you do has cause and effect, and sometimes it takes a bit longer for you to learn. So if I was to ask all of you about some of the mistakes you've made in the past, and you thought that was the worst mistake you've made and you weren't going to get out of it, you'll probably say today that was one of your best lessons. So cause and effect takes time to come into play. Richard Lal says, explain equity. So equity, if you have, Richard, a normal business, for example, equity is the value and the capital value you build in that property or in that business. So let's say, linking it to property, if you've got service accommodation and you're building a service accommodation business, you're going to create capital value in the value of the business, but you're also going to create equity when those properties increase in value. Now, we don't actually affect, to some extent, the economic cycle as such, so properties appreciate over time. What we control better, or we've got more control over, is the capital growth of our business. So it's about growing your business and then leveraging that.